Second intermission, the Saturday headlines with Elliotte Friedman. And traffic, Elliotte, heavy today in Toronto. 2 hours to drive in, but luckily about an hour of that, I listened to you try to guess Mark Arcabello.
Oh, God.
Who had 31 points playing for 4 different teams in a single NHL season. And Kyle put out the question, and then you filled the whole podcast with guesses.
If he didn't tell me, I'd still be guessing.
Right.
I wouldn't be here right now.
All right, Sam Bennett, what's up?
Yeah, so, there's not a lot of business that generally happens at this point of year. Things really do calm down, but Sam Bennett, as it stands right now, would be one of the biggest free agents available on July 1st if he gets there. And I don't want to handicap this, but the word in the press box Thursday night as Florida played in Toronto was that talks have resumed between Bennett and the Panthers. Again, I don't want to handicap it, don't want to say one way or the other, but they are trying, and it's been a very good marriage between player and team.
Well, you broke basically Aiden Hill on the podcast without it having been official when the podcast dropped. So the junior meetings, the state of the game, this is big in Florida this week.
Yes, so the GM meetings are there, and we'll talk about those in a second, but also the various stakeholders of the North American Junior Leagues are going to meet with the NHL as well next week in Florida. It's not the first time. Apparently, there's been a few meetings between the NHL and these various leagues, and the goal here is to obviously reset the junior market, the development market in North America, so that it benefits everybody. And basically what I understand is going on is the NHL has been listening to the various leagues and hearing what they all want, and eventually we're going to try to get to a point where, since this has to be part of the CBA, they're going to have to negotiate it with the players. So I think this is I don't know where this is going to go next week, Ron, if we're going to hear any announcements or anything like that, but the conversations are continuing. And the leagues, one thing I've heard is that the Canadian Hockey Leagues have been told just to calm down about expansion a bit. Let's see if we can find something that works for everybody. And, one of the things that's going to have to be determined with the players is draft rights. Right now, it's 2 out of the CHL and, for example, 4 out of the USHL and the NCAA. And I think the goal is for all of that to be equal.
How about the GM meetings themselves?
So the GM meetings start Monday, and I think what we're going to see there is the general managers are going to meet in their small groups on Monday morning, and we'll kind of see where it goes. What do they determine are important things that they want to discuss, and see if they can be either negotiated with the players or made into rule changes or various rule interpretations. And right now, I hesitate to say there's going to be one thing even bigger than the other, but I do expect coach's challenge is always something that's brought up. After we saw 3-on-3 overtime for more than 5 minutes at the Four Nations, will there be a conversation to ask the players to go to 7-8 minutes? I don't think we'd go to the full 10. But one thing I do think, Ron, that everybody is kind of talking about a bit, including the players, is just the toll of the schedule. And especially since that tournament was played in February, I think there was one manager said to me, I'd love to see that go back to September because it's too much of a toll on the players. But it was so successful, they can't see that happening. But I do think there is concern about the overall toll of injuries.
Right. September, you start to take on the NFL, and the playoffs in baseball are right around the corner. So great. Listen, you have a job to do here. Kevin BX had just won with Fairmont Prep, the state championship in California. They're off to the Nationals. They won their first game 11-1. This is a gorgeous goal by Sasha Raskin's a right winger on the first line. Picks it off and scores that nifty goal. At 6-1, Kevin said, knock off this celebration. You evaluate the celly they came up with. The boys all got together. They won 11-1, 9-1 in the final game, 5-3. And this is what they do. Do you know what movie that must be from? A movie or something? I don't know. Kevin can explain next week when he comes back for a rare appearance before coaching in the Nationals. What do you think of it?
I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I don't see anything wrong.
I can't believe Kevin's anti-taunting. He's the biggest taunter on this
Well,
panel.
he just said it's 6-1, guys. Give it a rest. We may see them in the final, and they did. So, sharp cookie.